we were doing a combination lesson of learning all of the different sounds that O can make. We were reviewing the sounds, the long sound and the short sound. You know that an O is going to make its long sound in one of 3 different instances, actually. I'm not sure I taught you all of these, so one of these I think at least is going to be a bonus fact for you. So one time O is going to say its name O, or its long sound, is when you do the tap 2 rule. You tap the next 2 letters, and if either one of them is another vowel, then the vowel that you were on is going to say its name or its long sound. So that's one time. The second time, if it's at the very end, the very last letter. If O is the very last letter of a word, like potato, solo, polo, rolo, then that O will make its long sound. And then there's another time or 2 that O will make its long sound, and that's if the very next letter is an L or an R. I don't think I put that in this lesson, but that's just kind of a bonus fact. If you see an OL together, like roll, yeah, I did put soul, hold, roll, polo. If you see an O followed by an L, that O is going to say its name. Same if you see the O followed by an R. OR is going to say or most of the time. So you're going to, let me see, look, next month. Yeah, in May, you're going to learn about R-controlled vowels. So you'll learn about that OR. OR is it says or most of the time, but not always. So I'll teach you that in May on the May 8th. Or you're going to see the schwa sound when it's almost to the end of a multi-syllable word and the last letter or 2 or 3 is a consonant. Then that O is going to change to the schwa sound and say And then it'll also say oi if the next letter is an I or a Y. So those are the things that we're going to be reviewing today. If you want to go over them with me, I will say them 2 times. Number 1 is soft toy. Soft toy. Excuse me, I forgot to mute everybody. Do that real quick. Number 2 is yamotoy. Yamotoy. Number 3, yoitapo. Yoitapo. This is from last lesson. It's all rule number 1 is at the top. All rules number 1 is the one we're looking at right now. Number 4, Roim show. Roim show. Number 5, and you can always look at my screen if you want. Number 5 is pro-soy. Pro-soy. Number 6, yomplo. Yomplo. Number 7, clomtrum. Now there's that O that's almost to the end of a longer word with a consonant or 2 or 3 after it. It's going to change to the schwa sound and say It happens a lot with words that end with OM and ON. That O changes to the sound. So that's why that is clomtrum. Clomtrum. Number 8. This one, we're going to have to make sure that we grab that P because it's going to want to hide. Chomp toy. Chomp toy. Number 9. Yas plof troy. Yas plof troy. Lots of sounds to grab in that one. Make sure you grab every single one. Yas plof troy. And number 8 is shro. O-E says O. Shro. Shro. All right, so this time we're going to be going over the combination number 2. All rules 2 is what we're working on today. start with our phonemic awareness warm-up. Sure. Jambi, did you want number 3 from this one? It is, okay, it is yoi tapo. Yoi tapo. This OI says oi. This O says ah because the next 2 letters are consonants. And this O at the end always says O. So it's yoi tapo. Thank you for asking. So our phonemic awareness warm-up. Can you put in the chat how many sounds in water? Water. Many sounds in water. You guys are doing great on this one. Wow. So water has 4 sounds. We have w, ah, t, 4 sounds. W, ah, t, And let me give you just a little heads up for next month. I think it's next month. Let me look. It's May. So W and R, they control the vowels around them. So that's why the A in water says ah and not ah or not a. Because W followed by an A, that A says ah. That's why that is water. But we're going to learn a lot more about that in May. Back here. So water has 4 sounds. How many sounds in Okay, this one's going to be kind of hard because there's a schwa sound that's going to be really hard to hear toward the end. How many sounds in crystal? Crystal. Take your time. Put it in the chat. Crystal's hard because I'm just going to tell you, there's a schwa sound right before the L. That's really hard to hear. Crystal. So there, I'm getting a lot of question marks on this one. So crystal has O. 7 sounds in crystal. I'm going to say those again. Repeat them after me if you need help with this one. Crystal is k, r, I, s, t, o. Crystal. Crystal. 7 sounds in that crazy word. I knew that was a hard one going into it. It was even it was either crystal or necklace. Necklace isn't any easier because it has a I that's hard to hear at the end. So those only gave me hard options on that one. Let's try. Oh, so on this last one, how many sounds in photo? Photo. Okay, this one's a little easier. A little easier. Maybe half of you. So photo has 4 sounds. That PH is if you see a word with the PH in it, it's a Greek word. And the PH is what they use to create the F sound. So that PH makes the F sound. That's one sound. O. 4 sounds in photo. O. 4 sounds in photo. Okay, We'll keep that one on. I was going to go to photograph, but I think we'll keep that one where it is, photo. All right, so let's go down to our review for our O rules. So number 1 has that OI graphing or vowel team. Let me know if I say anything that you want to know what I mean. Just go ahead, feel free to ask a question if you want. A grapheme is a letter or set of letters that makes one sound, and a vowel team are 2 vowels that work together to make. Basically work together to make one sound, but OE actually makes 2 sounds. But it is a vowel team. So OI says oi, O at the end says O. Now C is always going to make its hard sound k, unless the next letter is an E, I, or Y. If that happens, that C is going to make that soft sound. Doesn't happen very often. So most of the time, the C is going to sound like a k. All right. I feel like loading it up too much already. Let's pencil read this word. We have oi, o, oipo, oipo. Make sure an R doesn't get in right here. That's where it's going to want to sneak in. It's not croipo, it's oipo. Try yours. Make sure also an R doesn't get in right there. Control the shape of your mouth. Make sure no R shapes come in. Make sure when you pencil read this word, we have 4 sounds. Toipo, toipo, toipo. O at the end says O. O-I says oi. Toipo. So far, so good? Okay, number 2. I'm going to circle my vowels. This one I already know is going to make it short sound because the next 2 letters are both consonants. This is going to make the same sound as the OI right here. It's going to say oi, which I'm going to mark with a long OE sound. Okay, when I pencil read it, we have d, r, a, n, d, oi. When I blend it, it's dra. Did I pencil read that right? Did I say ah right there? I hope so. Let me start over. Drondoy, drondoy, drondoy. Does anybody ever confuse B and D? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Happens to the best of us, especially if we have dyslexia. I'm getting yep, lots of yeses and yep. Yeah, so you are not alone. I'm getting lots of yes. I confuse B's and D's all the time. So there is a way that you probably already know. If you've gone this far in life, you probably already have your own trick on how to tell if it's a B or a D. Does anybody want to unmute and share what their trick is? I love that. Any other tips on what you do if you get confused with B and D? So I like holding up. A lot of people tell you to do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. One's a B and one's a D. That is so confusing. How does that help? Because you still are wondering, well, which one is which? So if you write with your right hand, then you're going to hold up your non-writing hand and stick your thumb up and your fingers towards your face. That's a B. That's all you have to know. If you write with your left hand, stick up the thumb of your writing hand. It's going to be your left hand. You're going to put your thumb up, and that's the shape of a B. And that's all you have to know. Don't worry about the D because it's up, it's implied. If it's not the B, it's the D. So a lot of people, a lot of adults, especially, they just stick their thumb up in their lap. Like if they're wondering, what is that? They just, nobody even knows what they're doing. But they're just, it solidifies in your mind, oh yeah, that's a B or that's not a B. All you have to know is one of them. The other one just is a bonus, because if you know one, you're automatically going to know the other one. So drondoy, drondoy. Now look at this. Here's the D and here's the B. So go ahead and try yours on number 2. So when we pencil read it, we have a 2-letter blend here. Fr, ah, n, b, oi. Fronboy. Fronboy. Okay, yeah, Fronboy. Get that R in there. Make sure he doesn't escape. Fronboy. Number 3, I'm going to mark my vowels. I know because those next 2 letters are consonants that that's going to say ah. The short vowels are the most common. They say ah a lot because the short vowels are more common. It's also why we teach those to our little ones when they're learning the sounds. We teach them that the sounds are because those happen most often in words. Okay, here's my vowel team, oi. O is at the end, always say O. I love always rules. When we pencil read, we have a hard G. G can also make a hard and soft sound, just like the C. It can say G, that's its hard sound, or J, that's its soft sound. It will say its hard sound most often, G. The only time it makes it soft sound, J, is if the next letter is an E, I, or Y. Exactly same as the C. So that's not an E, I, or Y. So the G is going to say G. G, O, ah, oi, p, o. Glossoipo. Glossoipo. Yeah, I loved all the head nods. That's awesome. Glossoipo. Okay, try yours. This CH, I want a nice, hard, fast ch. Go ahead and mark yours and I'll be quiet. So you only need 1 dot underneath these 2 letters, and you only need 1 dot underneath these 2 letters because they make one sound. And we're only dotting the sounds. Uh-oh, I got a CVVC alert. We have a CVVC alert. So VCCV, I should say. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. When you see that, nice eye, by the way. Then you can split it right down the middle and make the word shorter. V, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Let's do it. Split it right there. Now we just have 2 short words. Ch, ah, chom. Oi, po, moipo. Chamoipo. Chamoipo. Whenever else you see that, let me know. Oh, here's another one right here, but we'll get there. Okay, so here's a digraph, 2 letters that makes 1 word. So that's going to get 1 dot. This O is going to say ah because the next 2 letters are consonants. This O is almost to the end of a longer word. So it's going to say What I mean by a longer word is 2 syllables or more. A multi-syllable word. And you know that a word is going to be 2 syllables or more if there are 2 vowels not touching. 2 vowels not touching means there's at least 2 syllables in that word. And if you see a multi-syllable word with an O that's almost to the end, that O is going to make the schwa sound, and that is marked by an upside down E. That's the symbol for schwa, So when we mark this word, when we pencil read this word, it's sh, ah, st, n. Shastran. 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 You'll notice that there's an O in there. That happens frequently. It's either an O-N or an O-M usually. Okay, go ahead and try yours. Yes, so when we pencil read it, it's oh, ah, That M is going to be the hard one to grab. No, don't let him go away when you blend it together. Clompun, clompun, clompun. How are you doing? Please put in the chat. I'm nervous. I want you to do well, but I know this is hard. Put in the chat. Okay. I know this is hard. So far, we've got some goods, got some grades. Tired, but good, 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 good. Yay. I'll take an okay. Walter, I'll take an okay. So, I know. I think it's especially hard if you're at the beginning and you're just starting. Oh, Orlando, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay. Okay, I'll take okays. There's a lot to learn, isn't there? And we've had days. Well, here, part of that is my fault because I have been giving you a lot of facts in this lesson, a lot of things for you to remember. And so I've just been kind of overloading your brain. And every time I teach you something new, I'm thinking, April, kind of back off a little bit on the fun facts. So you are patient with me as we try to learn this together, and I try not to overteach. Okay, so our extra practice, would anybody like to try one? To be vulnerable in front of everybody else while I give you honest feedback.